Hello and welcome to Free Spirit. Today we come to you from Val d'Or Estate in the Franschhoek Valley. In this week's first story, we meet Joseph Fiegelson, who's made real two ingenious ideas that support health and well-being. Kitchen Gardens ensures that growing your own nutritious sprouts is made extremely easy, while Nkosi Homes is an affordable innovation for building houses.
After being retrenched from the IT industry in South Africa, I realized that it would be a good idea to put on a thinking cap and do something that could be of value to society I'm living in. And with that idea came the idea of doing solutions towards poverty alleviation. And one of those solutions involved nutrition, which encompasses health, food security, and education. A sprout basically is a germinated seed. What actually happens is a seed, you can view it as stored energy. And when the life force, which is water, comes to the seed swells and in the process starts germinating, converting the stored proteins and carbohydrates into minerals, enzymes and vitamins. Although I'd been sprouting from the 70s, my daughter was invited to do a show and tell and ended up showing the sprouts. And at that point, people were so amazed to see that something could grow in such an area and environment that led actually to the birth of Kitchen Garden. Kitchen Garden is a method of being able to produce nutritious food within the confines of your own kitchen environment. Sprouts has a very strong property of having a lot of enzymes in it. It's the #1 source for enzymes. Enzymes are the guys within us that are responsible for breaking down our food to energy, thus increasing your ability to process the foods that you are eating and getting superior nutrition thereby. The procedure for growing sprouts is quite simple actually, because if you think in terms of sprouting, and the seeds, as seeds being energy, water being life, the two come together. Through the soaking process, the seed expands, absorbs water. Thereafter, it uses its own stored energy, converting it into the growing process, which produces a lot of minerals and enzymes and vitamins. With the sprouting kit, it includes everything that you would need to get started immediately to grow a crop. From the time you receive it till the time you actually have something to eat could be as little as 4 or 5 days. There's a numerous amount of products that could be made from the sprouts. One of the favorites that I do is I like to sprout the onions, for example. I dry them, create a sprouted onion powder. Combined with Himalayan crystal salt, you have an onion salt, which is delicious. I have at this point isolated some close to 200 different flavors. As a result, I'm able to combine very many different flavors together and make unique flavors and seasonings that are used in a myriad of ways. One of the products you could make with sprouts, for example, is a bread. The recipe itself comes from biblical days, and that is simply a method of taking the sprouted product, in wheat in this case, and grinding it, letting it naturally ferment, rise for a little bit, nothing else added, and that can produce a bread that is very nutritious, still alive and full of enzymes. In addition, there's also sprouts that you could do that would dry. You could add spices to it before drying. You could make delicious and nutritious snack foods for the kids to take to school. When dealing with sprouts, one really does have a source material, and you're only limited by your imagination.
I got very ill when I came down to Cape Town about 3 years ago, and they said it was all due to stress from my Joburg lifestyle. and I met Joseph, and he had been doing the sprouts in his kitchen here. So he said, just give it a try. So I said, well, you know, it's no harm in trying something to see if I can get back to my normal health, because that's what I desperately needed. So I started growing the sprouts in my kitchen, and they have been like magic. I can just say that I've got more energy now, and it's something that I will eat daily. I have it in a smoothie in the morning, and I have it as a salad at night with my vegetables and meat.
Abalimi is a center of activities in the heart of Philippi, and it's an organization that teaches people how to produce food from their gardens, organic food in particular. They have undertaken a program called Harvest of Hope, whereby they deliver a box of organic food to the parents at the school on a weekly basis. Kitchen Garden has performed what we call skills transfer, whereby I have trained the people at Abalimi how to grow sprouts, and they are adding that to the Harvest of Hope organic box on a weekly basis. I do the work that I do because I feel that the importance in life is when you are done with this life here that we're leading now, the only thing you take with you, I believe, is the value you've created in terms of friends and family. So in order to do what the best you can as a human being, from my perspective, I've looked at our country, South Africa, and said, well, the major problem is poverty. And the main component of poverty is housing. So let's come up with a housing solution that's easy, and let's come up with a nutritional solution that's easy. Nkosi Homes is a good way towards alleviating poverty because it provides a very simple, workable solution for structures, for shelter of many different uses, as well as for housing. The idea that I came up with is an idea that is so simple that I believe virtually anybody can put together a strong structure to provide shelter for themselves. It's a system that is composed of triangles. Triangles are strong. It's easier to build a triangle than it is a square or rectangle, and a triangle by definition is much stronger. And there's certainly nothing simpler than using equilateral triangles where all the lengths and the angles are the same. So you could create a very strong framework with 45 pieces of identical material. I was very fortunate and surprised to be the Grand Prix winner of the Innovation and Sustainability Awards in 2005. What it means for me is it gave me a certain degree of credibility.
Perhaps you wouldn't consider swinging a ball around your head and body a particularly useful exercise. However, Fire Tribe founder John Pierre reveals how the fast-growing and graceful art form of poi is actually an inspirational meditation that balances the hemispheres of the brain through repetitive, complicated movements with both arms.